We proceed with chapter 11. In this chapter, we proceed with chapter 11, that is democracy. So on this chapter, as we did on the several sessions, we start reading the introduction of each chapter so as to know what are the key issues which found in a particular chapter. So the chapter is concerned, it talks about democracy. So we have to read the introduction of this chapter. In this chapter, you will learn about the importance of democracy. Importance of democracy to the well-being of society. Also, function of political parties, significance of political tolerance, and the Constitution of United Republic of Tanzania. So, in this chapter, we have to start by looking the meaning of democracy. Also, we are going to discuss about political parties and their functions. Also, another issue is political tolerance. And the last one is the Constitution of United Republic of Tanzania. So we will start by looking the meaning of democracy as appears here. The meaning of democracy. Democracy is a form of government. Democracy is a form of government that draws its legitimacy from the people and the functions for their people. This system considers the decisions of majority as a guide to the government, to government policy and the decision. It is worth nothing that the idea of people does not include everybody. So in the democracy, when we're talking about democracy, is a system of government whereby what is considered in a democratic government is the issue of majority. Also, they consider that each and everything which will be conducted in a democratic government contain or involve every person in a particular society or in a particular national or in a particular group of people. So that is majority. So any decision cannot be done by any person or one person. So any decision which will be made should involve all people. So that is a form of government. So its government are being built by considering the function of the people as they did. So the people referred to are those who are 80 years old and above. Also, those people who are being considered to participate in each and everything in any form of democratic government is any person who has 18 years and above. So all who will be under 18 years, I mean from 0 up to 17 years are not considered to be persons or citizens in a particular country like Tanzania. So prisoners and those who are mentally ill have not legal right to vote. Also, in democratic government, prisoners, all people who are in prison, and all people who are not okay mentally are not allowed to vote or to be voted. The significance of democracy. So what are the advantages of What are the advantages of democratic government or the democracy? What are the significance of democracy? Democracy has the following advantages. The first one is it emphasizes the provision of human rights. So one among of importance which is more emphasized in a democratic government is it ensure provision of human rights. So human rights is so considered in the democratic government. Also it demands truth and transparency. So every person, never mind you are a reader or you are a citizen, you have to observe the truth and the transparency. So don't hide anything. Don't do anything without involving other people. So that is another importance in a democratic government. Democratic government is transparent. It involves citizens in the planning and the activities. In addition, obeys and respect the rule of law. The rule of law. So those are the significances of democracy. Also, the second advantage is freedom. So the first importance of the first significance of democratic government or democracy at all is it considers human rights. And second one is democrats also consider the issue of freedom. What is freedom? Freedom, what is freedom? Freedom is a situation whereby people are free to contribute or to criticize or to make or to say their views, what they think to a particular authority or to a particular person. So that is freedom. So here you may see these are for freedom of expression. So the freedom which you are talking here, the freedom of expression, that is the first one. So you are allowed to express your views, your thinking capacity. Anything which you think, you are allowed to speak it. That is one among of freedom which is more emphasized in a democratic government. Also freedom of worship. Everybody is allowed to pray, worship to what he or she believes. So if you believe that, you can select yourself. It is your choice. The matter is your choice. So you can decide yourself. This is a big tree, so I want I want this big tree to be as my God. So all worship I will pray under this big tree. So you allow it in any democratic government. So democratic government allows the freedom of worship. There is no anyone who is forced to pray, worship to what he or she believes. So you have a freedom to pray, worship to what you want, to what you believe. So that is another freedom in democratic government. Another one is freedom to collaborate or cooperate with others. So here in democratic government, people should cooperate. Don't do anything individually. You have to cooperate with your fellows so as to be engaged in several activities in all spheres of life. In economical issues, you have to interact with or cooperate with your fellows. In political issues, you have to interact or cooperate with your fellows. Also, in the issue of economic activities, you have to cooperate with your fellows. So that is another freedom in democratic government is observed. Also, freedom of movement. You are allowed to move from one place to another. There is no any kind of limitation. So you may move from one region to another, from one place to another without any obstructions. So that is another freedom which is so emphasized in any democratic government. The third importance of democracy is third advantage is that democracy enhances responsibility among the leaders. Also, any democratic government makes sure that every leader should be responsible. Don't use a lot of time or interesting yourself. So you have to make sure that you are responsible. If you have selected to represent the majority or other people, you have to be responsible. You have to represent them. So that is another importance of democracy. So responsibility is so considered among the leaders. This means that in democratic government, leaders become responsible to citizens by providing public services according to their positions. Citizens become responsible to their government by paying appropriate tax, by participating in developing activities. So that is also another importance of democracy. Also, in democratic government, power is divided among three pillars, namely judiciary, legislature, and executive. So also, in a democratic government, there is separation of power, or the government has divided into three parts. That is legislature, bunge, judiciary, mahakama, as well as executive. These are three pillars of government which follows the issue of democracy. Also, this division of power is crucial for smooth running of the government. So separation or the issue of having these three pillars of government helps in case of implementing several responsibilities or any issues in the government. In democratic government, there is also political tolerance. Also, democratic government makes sure that there is political tolerance. So, political tolerance, it simply means that if you have engaged in political matters like election, so if you failed to get or a person who will have popular elections will be a leader or who will be a winner of that election. So all losers should make sure that they should accept the result, that is political tolerance. So don't stand and start saying that I'm not agree about the result of election. No, you have to be political tolerant in a democratic government. So that is another issue. So there are several questions here which you may study so as to learn about democracy. So another issue is the roles of political parties. Here also we have to start looking the meaning of political parties. And before I proceed here, let us look at this explanation about political parties. Before explaining the role and the duties of political parties, let us look at the meaning of political parties. What is the meaning of political parties? Political parties refer to the organized groups of people who share same faith or philosophy and whose intention seizing political power. So those groups which have organized together and they share the same philosophy or the same faith, and their demands is to take the power. So that is political parties. So in Tanzania we have several political parties, and the political parties, let me give you a short background about political parties. When we are fighting for our independence in Tanganyika, there were a lot of political parties. And when we attained our independence in 1961, also there are a lot of political parties which existed during that time. But in 1965, all political parties were banned away. So the system of monoparty system was started in 1961. I mean in it's not 61, it's 65. So all political parties were banned in 1965, and there is only one political party which was existed during that time, that is TAN. TAN was mainland in Tanganyika, and the Afro Shirazi Party, SP, in the Unguja or in Zanzibar. So these are two political parties which share the same thing. So those political parties banned in that time. But when in 1977 the Constitution of the United Republic of Tanzania was formed, and also in 1992 the system of political party came again. Several political parties started to return, and the general election in 1995, the election started to be held with a lot of political parties. So I was trying to give you a little bit about a short background about political parties. So those explanations try to touch those issues as I was trying to tell you a little bit. So you can read this passage or this story so as to answer several questions that follow. And thereafter you will answer these questions like how many people contested for the chairperson position in political party. So if we have learned that in any democratic government also there is issue of political parties or multipartism system. So also multipartism system allows several political parties, as we are going to see a lot of political parties which we have in Tanzania. So if you have read that conversation or that story, I think you can answer these questions like as demands you to answer. Importance of political tolerance. So here we have to know the meaning of political tolerance. Political tolerance refer to the situation in which citizens have different beliefs and ideology, accept other people's opinion, even if they disagree with them. A good example of political tolerance is when political parties conduct their political rallies without interference. In this situation, members of such political parties usually challenge each other by asking questions without violating the political the principles of justice, truth, and peace. Also, political tolerance helps people from different political parties to cooperate. So when we're talking about political parties, it simply means that the situation whereby citizens who have different ideologies, the citizens who have different beliefs, accept other people's beliefs or opinion. Example, in Tanzania, there is a system of we have a lot of political parties, but when Chama cha Mapinduzi come into power and dominate or control or govern this country, there are several political parties. So thereafter, after the election, so other political parties should participate, even if other political parties do not believe the ideology of CCM or the ideology of Chama cha Mapinduzi. So that is a political tolerance which we are talking. So after election, we are Tanzanians, let us continue building our national. So that is a political part which we are talking here. Also, there are importances of political, or there is importance of political tolerance. So the first importance is political parties. Political tolerance helps members from different political parties to cooperate. So one among of political tolerance is that if we are believing different ideologies, or every person, every citizen has his or her political party. Also, if we have political tolerance, we can participate together without considering our political parties. So if we can have political tolerance, we can cooperate any activities which will help us. So that is another importance of political tolerance. It is good to respect other people's opinion, even if you are against them. So it's better to respect other ideologies, even if you are not followers in a particular ideologies. So you have to cooperate with others. In Tanzania has several political parties. These are legally established and permanently registered. Here, as I was trying to mention, as I tried to mention this year in 1965, where all other political parties were banned and the single party system introduced. But in 1992, multi-party system reintroduced again, and several political parties started to perform different activities according to their political parties. So here there is examples. There are a lot of examples of political parties in Tanzania. So here you may read it. The first, these are abbreviation and these are their full names. So there is ACT, Wazalendo, ADC, CCK, CCM, Chadema, Chauma, CUF, Demokrasia Makini, NCCR Mageuzi, LOD, NRA, SAU, TADEA, UDP, UMD, UDP. So those are the political parties in our national. So you may see, you may read their abbreviations and their full names of political parties in Tanzania. And we conduct several elections which tries to show the maturity of multi-party system in our country, or in our country, that is the United Republic of Tanzania. So also another issue is Constitution of United Republic of Tanzania. The Constitution. So here we should start looking the meaning of Constitution. Constitution of United Republic of Tanzania. The Constitution. The meaning of Constitution is that is a set of principles, laws, rules, and regulations. Is a set of principles, rules, and the regulations that govern a national association, part or group of people with the common goals. So when we're talking about the Constitution, are the principles, are the regulations, are laws, are the rules which govern a particular group of people or which govern a nation. Those principles, laws, regulations, rules are examples of Constitution. So the 1977 Constitution of United Republic of Tanzania has total of 10 chapters. Each chapter has its party indicated below. So here I will try to talk a little bit about the Constitution. I will try to take you back. In Tanzania, we have several backgrounds of constitution which we underwent. A first constitution was independence constitution, which formed where Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere was a prime minister of Tanganyika, that we call Independence Constitution, and that Independence Constitution considers Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere as a Prime Minister, and we call it a Western Model Constitution. Also in 1962 there is the Constitution Republic Constitution realized that Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere is a president of Tanganyika. So that is a second constitution that was called Republic Constitution in 1962. Also there is interim constitution that was formed in 1964, and there is another constitution that was in 1965. So these are two constitutions which try to show this formed where Tanganyika and Zanzibar joined together so as to form a single nation. So that started to be called as the Constitution of United Republic of Tanzania. But in 1974, this was a constitution which was made, and this constitution which made in 1977 consists 10 chapters, and each chapter has several parts. So this constitution consists 10 chapters, and each constitution has several parts. So you may pass through here as appear so as to see each key issues which found or several parts found in each chapters from chapter 1 up to chapter 10. So you may read it and you can answer these questions like what is the Constitution, as we saw, how many chapters are there in the Constitution of United Republic of Tanzania, as I said recently. What rights have been identified, and among others. Also, you can read several issues here so as to answer the questions that follow in this chapter. These are questions which are concerned in these chapters. Mention 3 types of citizenship, which you know, citizenship, as we said, we have several ways which you can become to be a citizen in a particular nation. So when we're talking about citizenship, it simply means that it's a process whereby a person belongs to a particular country or particular state. So that is a citizenship. And a citizen is a person who belongs to a particular country. And we have several ways or several types of citizenship. So you can pass through here so as to read those ways or those types of citizenship in our country. And here, mpaka leo nchi yetu bado haina ule uraia wa nchi mbili, kwa maana wewe ukawa raia wa Kenya na huku ukawa raia wa Tanzania. Bado hicho kipengele kinafanywa marekebisho, lakini mataifa mengine pia ipo. Tunazo zile kama 3 zile. So if you can read here, I think you can get these types of citizenship which I try to talk about. So that is the end of our module. So you may do these questions as we discussed in this chapter, so as to list yourself or to measure yourself if you have understood it or not. So that is the end of our chapter 11. Thank you for listening to me. See you once again.